Good morning, Dubai. Thank you for finding our podcast. And if you did, we love you, we appreciate you. And please hit that subscribe button wherever you listen to your podcasts. On Real Show today, we talked a lot about travel, from babies to bird strikes.
And tap water. Like, if you guys are traveling and you have been in Dubai all your lives, how does it work? Because I get super paranoid when I'm in a different country to drink tap water. For me, it's just bottled water.
You're not alone. And speaking of that kind of safety blanket that we have in Dubai, we had MKO on the show today. He's got an event coming up at Toda, but he also spoke about a really traumatizing experience he went through. He was in Kenya, he was in Nairobi, and his drink was spiked. And he really kind of shed light on something that actually happens way more often than we might think about it. So we give a massive shout out to him for sharing his story. And if you want to hear it, take a listen to our podcast now. Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through all of the trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. Our top story footage went viral on social media last night, showing a Fly Dubai flight which has landed safely after a bird strike caused an engine fire.
We'll also be talking about the next long weekend in the UAE and how it could be 6 days long.
That's all. And of course, a big property news, another record breaker, 125 million dirham for the most expensive piece of land in Dubai's real estate history.
And MKO is back with a big announcement. He'll be joining us later on the show after all the news updates.
But before we get into all of that, we have a big giveaway. We love everyone who tunes in. We appreciate you every single morning on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. So today we are giving away a prize with a big price tag value, and it's especially for aspiring content creators, because basically the Davos of content creation is coming to Dubai, and if you have any interest in this line of industry, you should be there. This competition is for you. So NAS Summit, a gathering for creators, founders and misfits, is around the corner, and it's actually taking place this weekend in Dubai, and we are giving one winner access to the event for two, so basically you and your bestie. So if you're looking to build your online platform, learn from the greatest and network with some of the industry's giants, then you don't want to miss this.
Definitely. Now it's 2 days full of engaging sessions with over 50 inspirational speakers, including Upton, Chris Fade, Heidi Hajar, Isa Al-Habib, and our CEO, Richard Fitzgerald, will be there as well. And it's also a great place to mingle with like-minded people, and opportunity to get insight from speakers. And the 2-day event will take place in Madinat Jumeirah on the 29th and 30th of April, which is this weekend. So do get tagging if you guys want to win. And it is the most exciting 2-day, it's just so jam-packed with all these speakers and like they say, the best networking opportunity for all these content creators. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Well,
because content creation and growing your platform, everyone's like, how do you do it? And people talk about consistency and they talk about regular scheduling, but actually how you do it is you make friends with other content creators and you make videos with them and you use their platforms to grow your own. And this is the second time. So this is created by NAS Daily. Well, right, yeah. Because you make videos and then you end up in theirs and you tag each other and you...
Yeah, like a lot of collaborations and like just bouncing off each other's ideas.
Exactly. And then this NAS Summit is, of course, created by NAS Daily, who's one of the OGs in the business, and he's going to be there. But it's the second year they've done it. And last year, a lot of people that went to the event, they said the coolest thing is that...
The free food?
After the free food, the coolest thing is that you're down there and everyone is just wanting to get to know each other and network, right? So it's not just like, these key speakers are like over in a corner, like everyone's kind of involved and like there's after parties and stuff. So it's really just a place to, yes, go to the keynote speakers, but also just kind of like hang around and just meet people in your industry. So if you're into content creation of any sort, please mention NAS Summit if you want those tickets. And they come with a price tag, so you're going to get two. So tag NAS Summit right now if you want to go to that event.
100%. I am so excited for this one. So excited. We're going to be down there this weekend. And yeah, if you guys end up winning, we will see you there. But yeah, let's talk about the holidays.
Oh, the holidays, they're so long gone. And you know what's so funny is that sometimes you remember all the good stuff, but you remember the bad stuff more. right?
Yeah.
And this didn't happen to me, but there's a story of people on a plane, and a lot of us has just come back from travels, and they were talking about what happens on the flight. So, what did you eat? What movie did you see? Were you sitting next to a baby?
Were you sitting next to a baby? Now this, became like such an online debate because news broke of this man who lost it at parents during a flight after a baby was crying for 45 minutes straight, non-stop. And as you can expect, the internet
The man lost it?
Lost, like he was screaming. He was screaming at the parents. He was screaming at fellow passengers, at the flight, at crew members. And like you can imagine, the internet is divided.
I can imagine.
In splits. Some are supporting him. They're like, how can a baby be crying for 45 minutes straight? Like anyone would lose his cool of, like you pay so much to sit on a flight and then 45 minutes you have to suffer through that. And then you have other people going like, it's a baby. What can the parents possibly do? Like, you have earphones. Use them. Listen to music.
The poor parents. Look, I don't have kids. So I get onto a flight and if there's a baby there, I'm thinking, oh no. However, the poor parents who have to get through the airport and they're as nervous as you.
Yeah.
They're hoping that their baby's going to be good the whole way through the flight. But regardless of if I want to be next to a baby or not, regardless of my own personal opinion, you're never going to shout at someone. It doesn't matter how angry you are in anything. Like, don't take your rage. Like, control yourself. Do not take your rage out on another person in public. Like, I would like shout at that man. He deserves to be shouted at. Like, how dare he stand up in front of people and make those parents feel small? It's awful.
I completely agree. Like, it's uncalled for behavior. And I think people, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how people justify this kind of behavior. Like, the baby could be having health conditions, like so many things, and that to the air pressure, it's like, it's not normal for babies, like, it's like, it could be a very first experience. Like, you don't know how old the baby was and the discomforts. I don't know, so many things. And it's like to be, like you said, they already go through enough.
Yeah, and the thing is, sometimes in life, you just need to suck it up. Like, who cares if you spent X number to flight? It's basically public transport at this point to get from A to B. Yeah. And you're going to be on a flight. You're going to be shoved into a plane, a tin can with 100 to 200 people, and you have to suck it up. And if there's a baby on the flight, they need to get there too, and you have no idea where they've come from, what they're going through. So if you're beside a screaming baby, then just deal with it.
100%.
Someone's saying...
she just said it as is. That is 100%.
Fun Delicious saying people have no patience anymore.
That's so true. And if you're choosing a budget airline to travel in,
it doesn't matter though, even if it's like a fancy airline.
No, with fancy airlines, they give you like entertainment, right? So you have your earphones and stuff on if you don't carry it yourself. But like Casey said, you just gotta suck it up.
Suck it up. Let's jump into our top story. We're talking about a Fly Dubai flight, another plane story, if you will, has landed safely in Dubai after a bird strike causes engine fire. So residents in Kathmandu took to social media last night after what they saw appeared to be a plane on fire in the sky. So it's quite shocking footage, and you can see it beside us on Facebook. It's also on our Instagram feed if you check there. We can confirm the footage is actually a bird strike, and following normal procedure, the flight continued as normal and landed safely in Dubai. So it was a Kathmandu-Dubai flight.
So bird strikes, also known as bird ingestion for an engine, bird hit or bird aircraft strike hazard, which is BASH, is a term used for a collision between an airborne animal, usually a bird or a bat, and moving vehicle, and usually an aircraft. So
Dubai Media Office, they shared a number of updates throughout the evening, and this is kind of the key one that holds the most information, coming via a Fly Dubai spokesperson. So Fly Dubai flight FZ576 from Kathmandu has landed safely at 11:12 this morning, local time, after experiencing a bird strike during takeoff. So the experienced flight crew, they followed standard operating procedure and continued the onward journey after determining that the engine was within its normal operating parameters.
Exactly. Now, the statement continued. The aircraft landed normally in Dubai and further inspections will be conducted, and the safety of our passengers and crew is our top priority. We apologize for any inconvenience caused to our passengers' travel schedule. And this is the second story we've got to hear of a bird strike just this week. So, I mean, I didn't know it got so intense. Like, I had no idea.
I think maybe because it was at nighttime, it was more dramatic in terms of the footage, and the engine appeared to be on fire. But you'd just be scared on the flight, wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Like, you just, like, for a turbulence in itself is so scary. And then anything else, any other obstacle on the way, you just like, you think of the worst possible situations in your head.
Yeah, 100%. So shout out, by the way, to the crew. And actually, this is a lot of the people are just being like, you know, they have to really be prepared for all circumstances. And of course, the training is there, but they still need to act at the right time. And someone said, thanks to the crew members for making this possible. More respect, take every single bow. Everyone was praying the whole night because people actually obviously didn't understand what was going on. So congratulations that they are safe. And then they said, hopefully everyone will get more strength to deal with this memory because no one would ever like to experience that. So if you're on a flight, you're freaking out, basically.
God, like I get goosebumps when I hear anything to do with flights. Like it's the scariest thing, being so high up in the air. You know, just like as a passenger, it's
how does it work?
And then as like, okay, like friends and families hearing of this on ground, like, you know, the plane is going to make an emergency landing, like imagine on the receiving end, right? Just like, okay, is something wrong? And the panic sets in, like if you're receiving family, oh my God, like it's just traumatizing. But guys, do get tagging in the comments on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you're watching from, to win tickets to NAS Summit happening this weekend. And our next story is the next long weekend in the UAE could be 6 days long. Now, here's a little pick-me-up news. If you've been feeling down in the dumps on your first day back to work or school, so UAE peeps, there may be a 6-day long public holiday on the horizon in just 2 short months. Now, the next big holiday on the UAE's calendar is the dynamic duo of Arafat Day and Eid al-Adha, which are expected to fall on Tuesday, June 27th and Wednesday, June 28th, respectively. And this would basically mean that the UAE, like people in the UAE, will be enjoying a break from Tuesday, June 27th, all the way up until Sunday, July 2nd. Now, the exact dates are TBC depending on moon sightings.
As is always the case now. Please take notes because we're actually going to list the upcoming holiday days for 2023. So following Arafat Day and Eid al-Adha break, the next public holiday will be on Friday, July 21 for the occasion of the Hijri New Year. Next up will be Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him's birthday, which will fall on Friday, September 29th. And finally, 2023 will end with Commemoration Day and UAE National Day break from Friday, December 1 to Sunday, December 3, all days determined closer to the time.
You know, after the 6-day long weekend, it's all just 3-day weekends after that.
You're saying it with a smile, but I...
No, it's just like...
I sense it.
It's just... I'm holding back tears. Like, you get this 6-day long weekend and it's like...
Full stop. You get the 6-day long break. Amazing. Aren't we so lucky?
TBC, depending on moon sighting.
No, I feel like this one is pretty...
Like 5 to 6. Like, I'll take 5. I'll take 6.
It's good. It's a good break.
Yeah. And post that, it's all 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. But you know what? We will take...
3 days, you mean like Saturday, Sunday plus 1. So 3.
Yeah,
3
usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But like Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
You always hold out hope though, because the days can change. There's always a little bit of hope. There's always a conversation like, will it be Thursday? Will it be Monday?
But oh my God, 6 days off.
And it's not that far away. It's really not.
Can you imagine? I was talking to a friend yesterday and he was like, wherever at the destination he was at, he was just talking about water and he's like something about tap water and drinking water. How is it with you when you travel? Are you okay drinking from taps?
I ask the question when I'm there.
Okay.
And if they say it's fine, I'll drink it, no problem. And if they say it's not fine, I won't touch it.
Really? You have like no reservations? Like you don't think twice before just drinking from the tap?
Well, I'll ask.
Yeah.
So, for example, I was in Sri Lanka and the first place I was staying in, they were like, you can drink, we have a well. So I drank, perfectly fine. Then I went to the second place, they were like, don't drink it, didn't touch it, fine.
Wow.
What about you?
No, I mean, living in Dubai, like I would just not touch tap water. Like I would have so many.
In any country?
No, I wouldn't.
Come home to Ireland. We have a well. It's fresh. It's amazing. Tap water that you can drink is amazing. It's cold. It's free. It's probably the best thing about it. And you don't even need to buy bottled water in some countries.
I think you just develop that paranoia when you're in Dubai. Like you're just so used to like bottled water or like distilled water.
Yeah.
You don't like, I don't know, you just don't, you're not comfortable drinking from the tap.
In any country?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't.
I think, yeah, you've been here for so long, but like, come to Ireland. Use some of, we were just talking about breaks, use some of your massively accumulated breaks. Take a 7-day break, Simran, go to Ireland and you drink that tap water.
You know?
You drink that tap water.
You guys, right? You guys work on the visa situation and then invite me again. Just work on the visa situation.
Go somewhere else. Go somewhere. Go home. Where I don't know. Somewhere
wherever they have like
that
tap
allows
water.
tap water. I bet Switzerland allows tap water. Can you get to Switzerland?
I've been to Switzerland, but we drank from bottled water.
I mean, just go to the mountains, find Evian Mountain, drink from there. Speaking of having lots of money, sold 125 million for the most expensive piece of real estate. Residential land in Dubai's history. So the property market, the luxury property market boom in Dubai shows no sign of buckling. Case in point, a plot of land has just sold for a record-breaking 125 million. And honestly, the price tag is not the most interesting part of this story, nor is it the fact that the plot of land is simply sand. That's all it is. Wow. Sand. 125 million. The real kicker of this story is the profit made by the seller, but we'll get to that shortly.
Amazing. I mean, you guys don't know it yet, but it's amazing. So the land in question is located in Jumeirah Bay Island, where 128 plots in total were originally listed. Now, this is an extremely elite hood by local developer Miraz, who says Jumeirah Bay is the new address of choice for Dubai's most discerning homeowners, sculpted in the shape of a titanic seahorse with commanding views of the ocean and Bulgari Resort and Residences Dubai.
Fabulous. Now, the land was sold by Umar Kamani, who is the former CEO. He actually only resigned as CEO, but he's the founder of Pretty Little Thing, incredible entrepreneur, and it was sold via Knight Frank. Now, Kamani reportedly made a 242% profit, according to Bloomberg, after he purchased the same land just 2 years ago for 36.5 million. This is before fees. So this is a postcode worth $1 million. It's another record-breaking sale for a plot of land in Dubai. The sale enters local record books as the priciest piece of real estate, residential land sold in Dubai's history, along with the priciest land per square foot.
Oh, that is incredible. So the new owner, who wishes to remain anonymous, is reportedly not a resident, but is now one of the gilded few who can call this 6 million square feet island, sculpted in the shape of a titanic seahorse, his home.
Yes, he can. And congratulations must go to Umar Kamani, who made a tidy 88 million profit over 2 years, bought a plot of sand, did nothing. 2 years later, sold it, 88 million profit. It just shows you it's just another marker of the incredible interest in luxury real estate in Dubai. But yeah, massive shout out to him.
Incredible. Genius.
Genius.
The guy just, I mean, genius.
Genius.
Here we are, working with like a few thousands, stock market, and there he is, bought a land, all sand.
Just a plot of sand.
Sold it, 88 million dirham profit. That is incredible.
Approximately in 2 years.
Yeah. In just 2 years.
Exactly.
That too. Yeah. That's
I feel
incredible.
I'd love to know the biggest, pieces of profit made, over the short amount of time. I reckon it must be with crypto.
Yeah,
someone who
100%.
put in and just made a whole lot of money in a short amount of time. Let's Google that.
Basically, I mean, that happened with Dogecoins, right?
Dogecoin.
It was like it's a completely meme crypto, and the way it just shot up, and no one expected that, and whoever invested like whatever amount, just saw major profits, sold it, became overnight not millionaires. I would just say they got a lot of money.
Is crypto still? Are people still making money off crypto? Alibaba, are you still investing? Alibaba's not making.
Yeah.
Are you still doing well from crypto? I feel like we all have moved on to AI at this point. He's not doing well. Is anyone doing well from crypto?
Is anyone doing well with stocks?
Were Simran and I? Dogecoin is worth less
That
than a
is
dirham.
so funny.
Simran and I were ahead of the game by not investing in crypto. The Karen coin is obviously.
I have.
You invested in crypto?
In crypto, like $20 or something.
How's it going for you?
I didn't check. I'm too scared. But I'll tell you one thing. I really, you know, when Elon Musk on Twitter, like there was a week, I don't know if it's still there, but like there was a week where everything was just that the Dogecoin icon, right, of the dog. And I thought it was going to shoot up. And I'm like, you know what? This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. You invested in Dogecoin now, but nothing actually happened out of it. Nothing came out of it. Yeah,
Alibaba told us not to invest. Well, we didn't. We took your advice, Ali, and we are much richer for it, probably. Guys, okay, stay tuned. Very shortly, we're going to be joined by an artist who's about to be performing an immersive contest at Toda. We've also had him on the show before. It's going to be MKO, who's going to be with us right after this very short break, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Lovin Dubai Show. We are now joined by an artist who's all about diversity, inclusion and equal opportunities for artists, and who'll also be throwing an immersive concert at Toda on May 5th. So get your tickets right now, and welcome back to the show, MKO. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me, Casey. I
appreciate
that. That was a lovely intro.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's the second time that you're back on this show. You're all about music, art, the nightlife, yet here you are at 8 a.m. How did you manage that?
Discipline. Discipline. When you want something, you gotta have to get up early for it. You know. I think last night we were working till about 4 a.m, and then passed out. Woke up an hour later, and here we are.
4 a.m.
Are you a night owl or an early bird in general?
I am an early bird in general, but you know how it is when you just go on, and then at one point you just crash, and then so I usually have such days when I could go on for like weeks. And one particular day, it doesn't matter who is out, who is trying to invite me out. If it happens, that's it. I'm gonna crash and I'm gonna get my rest. So it usually happens like
that sounds very healthy.
Yeah, I know.
So what were you working on last night?
Well, the concert. Just we have a documentary that would be played across the show, without having to give too much away.
Give it all away.
Nah, because then what are people coming to see? So stayed up working on the voiceover, mixing the voiceover, because it's an immersive experience, right? So you have to make sure the sound, the visuals, the entire ambience is actually immersive, and it's not just all talks. So you gotta have to stay up and make sure everything is on point, bang on.
Huh, that's interesting. Voiceovers, yet our voices weren't recorded. So, what voiceovers are you using?
It's gonna be different. You know, mostly when you go to concerts and events, you have your MCs and hosts at the event, sort of, you know, anchoring the event. This time it would be pre-recorded, where people can show up and then you're just guiding them through the show, but it's already, you know, pre-planned and all that. So
we want to get into why you're jumping into kind of the immersive as well as music, but for those people who don't know, give us an idea of, describe your sound.
Okay, MKO is a singer-songwriter. I make Afro pop music, and I've come from a corporate background, and I'm also an art curator. So we put together art exhibitions, art conferences. I've worked with various talents in Dubai, from fine artists to visual artists, designers, and a bunch of, you know, creators. So it makes sense for me to have my concert in an immersive environment, because then I get to work with other creatives that I've been working with, and I'm all about inclusion. And like, as you said, equal opportunities for creatives. So even though it's my show, yes, it's my show, but then I'm putting it together. But there are other people who are extremely talented as well that needs to be seen and heard.
Love that, and love giving an opportunity to all. But what are your thoughts on like the creative scene in Dubai versus other cities? Because some people have said before, disagree. Dubai doesn't have soul, but you're obviously in the mix. So how would you describe it? I
disagree, because I feel like a lot of people would probably, you know, bash me for this. I feel like you can only have soul when the creative space is very supportive of each other. You can, if like anywhere else in the world, there is a scene. In order for you to have a scene, to grow a creative space, you have to come together, collaborate more, and that means you're tapping into various audience, and that's how you can grow the creative space. You would also hear people say things like, there isn't that much support from the government in the creative space, which I don't think is true, because my first album was sponsored by Dubai Tourism and a bunch of other organizations. Exactly. So if you have the right approach, the right mindset, and that mindset is about inclusion, which is what Dubai generally is about. And that mindset is about understanding that if you are trying to grow as an individual, it's not the same as growing as a unit, right? And that's how you grow the creative space. When you come to Art Fusion Night, for example, every time you would find new talent and you're wondering, who are these people? Where are they from? And this is what we talk about. Whereas other events that happens, you'd see them, it's the same people every time. So it's almost like a group of, specific people pushing their own, there's nothing wrong with that, but then that's the only way you would grow. You're just going to grow within a certain group of, people. You'd never really expand. MKO, if I can be blunt, I don't need it, because as an artist, I'm bigger than I am here in Dubai, outside of Dubai. Mm-hmm. I've had shows which were attended by 6,000 people, and the list goes on. When I leave, I get bookings, but I still come here and I advocate for people to collaborate more, So I think there's a scene here, there's a soul. There are people who want to tap into that space, like yourself. I mean, you've been to Art Fusion Night and you've been to other, events in Dubai. I mean, when you go to Seoul DXB, you can't say there's no soul. There are a bunch of people there, right? And if the vision aligns with growth for the creative space, a bunch of people would show up, because that's something they miss from wherever they've come from.
100%. And I think your events, everyone comes with the right intentions. They come with a passion for the same thing, like the arts and music. So it's not just immersive, but like, it's not one of those events where you're just like, eating and drinking and then just, like in your own group, you're actually mingling and getting to know everyone from the industry.
Yeah.
And I love that about, how you organize such things. But for you, competition, like, how do you see competition? Like, do you see it as a way that elevates you and you grow from it? Because you really get a lot of people, like, involved. It's not just like you and your gang. Like you said, you're inclusive.
Yeah.
So how do you see competition?
A lot of people think competition is a negative approach to their business, whereas it's meant to be healthy. Competition is supposed to make you do better. It's supposed to make you grow, and you don't want to keep giving the same thing every time. For example, my concert, it's never been done. That's a new concept, and there would be people who would replicate that, and that would only make you want to think outside the box after this, initiative which we've taken. And as part of what I was saying, I have Art Fusion. I run that. I'm an artist, but there's also another organization that I'm working with, which is The Spot, and they own Soul Brunch. Now, with these guys, they have a concept that is tested and trusted. They have a community of people that I would like to also connect with. And what do? We collaborate to make this initiative a success. And from that approach, we get to do other things together, right? So competition is meant to be healthy. It's supposed to help you do better. It makes you think outside of the box. And without competition, there is no growth.
Love that. Speaking of competition, but also collaboration in a way. So obviously there's going to be other artists. It's an MKO show, but there's going to be other artists joining you.
Yeah.
What is the criteria? Do they need a similar sound to yours, or what type of other artists are going to be joining you on the night?
Okay, so with this particular show, I've included people who perhaps inspired me in some way, or I wouldn't say inspired, people I looked up to, and people that I have worked with in certain capacity, in my before I got to this point. So it's like telling a story of our growth over the years. So that's the correct. There has to be a link to the docu series of this concept
Cool.
associated with MKO. For example, when I moved out here, I used to look up to Abri Hamdan because that was the one guy who was killing it in the music space back then. And he worked with me during my previous album launch as well, and now he's coming to support me this time. And I have Income Boy, who used to do a lot of my backup vocals back in the day when I would record. And he had gone on to perform with some of the big names you could think of, like your 2 Chainz and your Young Jeezy and a bunch of others, right? So this is the journey, telling my story as well as everyone else's that is associated with the concept. Yeah.
That's so interesting. But before we talk more about your concert, you had a life-altering experience in Africa. What exactly happened there?
This is the second time I'm talking about it. And I hate being put on the spot, but sure, let's go for it.
She just went right in.
Feel comfortable.
Yeah, I went to Kenya. So I had 3 countries that I wanted to go for my birthday, and I got my agent to reach out to get me a show. So whichever it is, then I'll go. So I got a booking in Nairobi for a concert on the eve of my birthday. Fast forward, we had a great time. I came with a bunch of friends from Dubai, and then we went to Mombasa, and it started raining. We were in the VIP, whatever, as normal, and it started raining, but we had a shaded section. So I was like, you know what? We could help a couple of people join this section, and somehow one of them spiked my drink, and yeah, and I got kidnapped, and my jewelry and everything that I had on me were taken. It was a very traumatic experience because I was unconscious for about 48 hours. And for someone who is unconscious for that long, you have it easy because you don't know what's happening to you. But then the traumatic part is more of the people who are now wondering where you were, what's happened to you, families, and everyone going mad. So I literally had about 3 people in the hospital who were worried if I was still alive or something. So by the time I regained consciousness, that's when I realized what had happened to me. But yeah, so I had people, who flew into Mombasa to investigate, and so the people are fugitives now. They're on the run because they will get them eventually. I know that for a fact because of the people and we have pictures of who they are and everything.
Can you remember? Do you mind going back to the actual one, if you don't mind?
Yes,
and I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but
yeah.
Do you remember? Can you remember how it felt? Can you remember the people? Can you remember their faces?
I remembered getting on a boat because we were out till about 9 in the morning, and in order for me to get to the hotel where we were, it's now 9 a.m. so there's traffic, people going to work and everything. So it was easier to get on a boat to cross to the other side of the beach. And I think that's when it happened. That's when. So I sort of, everything else after getting on the boat is all blurred to me. Anyway, I've been through therapy, cancelled a bunch of shows because I had released my single, and that's when you guys had me on the show, and then I had gone on a media tour, and I was promoting the single, performing, doing all sorts. So that sort of killed the momentum of the promotion of the single, and I think I took about a month to sort of just shut down and just regain my mental health and stability. it's been quite a journey.
I
So
can't
I don't even
imagine.
know how I was able to bounce out of it, because I would have days that I couldn't sleep just trying to, you know, um, I was just battling with myself in my sleep and everything and such. But yeah, it's good. Yeah,
Honestly,
Thank
can't
you for
even
sharing.
imagine.
Yeah.
Like, it
Thank you
must
for
have
sharing.
been,
Wow.
yeah,
Like,
so hard.
yeah,
for your friends and your family and for you to go through that, that is a
yeah.
wildly traumatic experience. We're so glad, like you've been through the therapy, so I hope it's
Yeah.
going okay. But for you to to come out the other side and to be able to talk about it, even now, I can see that it's difficult to get the words together in some ways. So thank you so much
it
for sharing
is.
it with
Yeah,
us.
I mean, I think when it happened as well, I posted about it on my socials, and it took me 3 days to sort of gather the courage to do that. And that's because we have a platform, and a lot of people, what they share on the platform, I'm also a victim of that, is when the going is going great,
Yeah, 100%.
and you forget that you could use your platform to educate people to become more self-aware or be vigilant when they travel. Because we are in one of the safest cities in the world, which is Dubai. Dubai is the one place that you would meet someone for the first time and you're like, I'm having a barbecue, I'm having a yacht party. Do you wanna join?
100%.
And if the person is new, they would wonder, no, this doesn't happen anywhere else. And that sort of makes us complicit as well when we travel, because then we are, you could just drop your guard, because
Okay.
you think everywhere is that's safe, right? But yeah, so when I shared it, and I blocked the comment section, I didn't know my DM was gonna blow up, because you would be surprised that 85% of the people who came into my DM to say they've been through a similar ordeal were men.
That is
And yeah,
insane.
and they wouldn't. Obviously, it's not something that men would be comfortable to share, So you'll be surprised. So, and that sort of, I felt pleased that I was able to get people, to talk more and open up to me and make me understand that I wasn't alone.
But thank you for that,
Yeah.
because you being so vocal about it and
Yeah.
sharing it on your socials, like, it brought a lot of awareness to the topic, because people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then you don't know that these things, it happens, but you don't know it happens
And men
so
in particular, I
frequently.
think, is a
exactly.
really interesting insight.
So thank you for that.
Yeah. One said in Vegas, Mexico, Turkey, you just name it. It's crazy.
We have massively digressed, but thank you for sharing. Look, this is MKO. He's got a big event at Toda. Now, if people want to get in touch with you, how can they get tickets? How can they see this immersive event live?
So the ticket is available on the Toda website, but because Toda has, they have events every day. So the best way would be going on at MKO_world. That's my Instagram account, and the link is there. When you click on it, it takes you directly to the section for my concert, and we have two tickets available. So 3 actually. We had balcony, VIP, and regular. Balcony sold out.
Oh, congratulations!
Guys, that is MKO_world. And by the way, check out your Instagram. You've given a little snippet of the visuals, and it looks very, very cool. Immersive event. A lot of artists coming through. So thank you so much for giving the shout out to that event.
Thank you for having me.
Not at all. We really appreciate your time this morning. But that is all, unfortunately, that we have time for. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
This show is brought to you by the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.